today I'm going to be your host for the Craigslist training. Um, each of you guys would have received the invitation, and part of that invitation, there's an attached link that has the Craigslist training document attached to it. So everything that I'm going to be doing today is going to be part of that document. The only thing that's not going to be part of that document is your initial login to this website, hudhomestore.com. And if you guys have a pen and paper, you probably want to jot this down, but it's really not very complicated, and that's why it's straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. So um, with further ado, let me go ahead and start the training now. So, HUD Home Store is a government site that's based out of Atlanta, and they um, deal with bank-owned properties. These are properties that are listed on the MLS by other agents, but because Al, our broker, has the access to sell and buy these type of properties, we as agents under his brokerage can go ahead and sell or advertise these properties on Craigslist. And Craigslist, posting properties on Craigslist is in an effort to get people to call your telephone number or get in contact with you however way you set it up on Craigslist. And the idea is if they connect with you regarding a post that you put online, that's a potential client that you can then help to, help them purchase a home. But the whole idea is to get get them looking at your listings on Craigslist. And this site, hudhomestore.com, is the site that you're going to go to get those listings. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I went to Florida. And let me go back here. Let me just go from beginning. So hudhomestore.com, that's the website that you're going to go to. Excuse me. There we go. All right. So you go to this site, search Florida, and I usually do county search. So I'm going to do Orange County. And everything in Orange County will populate. So at this time, we only have one property, 10087 Bay Water Breeze Drive. So I click on that, and just to give some background, 11087 Bay Water Breeze Drive is also a property that's also listed on the MLS. And that is 10087 Bay. All right. So this property listed on the MLS by Jared West with Exit Realty. I have no idea who he is. I've never met him, but this is his listing. Now, ordinarily, You wouldn't be able to use another agent's listing without directly speaking to them and getting that permission to use the listing to advertise. You'll have to talk to whoever this Jared person is and say, "Hey, can I use your listing to, get some business?" But of course, they would exit Realty, not Century 21, so that would make it pretty much impossible for you to do that. However, like I made mention earlier, since Al is a HUD licensed broker, we can use this particular property and list it on Craigslist. Put it on Craigslist. And I'm going to now show you how you can typically do that. So if you've ever had a Craigslist account, it's pretty much the same login. If you've never had a Craigslist account, then you would have to set one up. And it's really not too complicated. It's just like setting up any other account. Of course, if you want to set it up initially, you go here and create yourself an account, put your email address in, and literally go to create account and create one for yourself. But if you already have a Craigslist account, then you would literally just log back in, which is what I there. All right. So now I'm going to lift the information from this particular property and post it on Craigslist. And like I said, it's to get people to call. Chances are we could go look at this property. They can absolutely love it, but then for some other reason, they had another property that they might like to go take a look at, in addition to this one that you posted online and they called you about it. But it so happens to be that the other property that they looked at, that's the one that they fell in love with, and that's the one that they ended up buying. But because they called you about this property that you had posted on Craigslist, that's one way that you just got business, even though you didn't sell this particular property. You got contact with somebody who you ended up doing business with. All right. So Craigslist again. Like I said, you already set one up. This will be your normal home page that you will come to. And I typically always post in the Orlando, Florida area, but you can change that based on what area that you want to be, you want to work within. And again, if you guys have any questions, please just unmute yourself, pose your question, I'll answer it for you, and then we can move along. So all right, so I'm gonna go.
Excuse me, how can you show us a little bit like how do you post it in here? What?
Uh-huh. Yes. I'm actually gonna do that for you guys right this moment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you already have your Craigslist. You're gonna go to go. You want to set up. You want to start with the posting. All right, so we're gonna go with housing offered. Real estate by broker, because we're not the owner, we're the broker. And if you agree and go by these guidelines, then you're gonna go ahead and click OK. Your posting title, one thing I would say is you want to make it consistent. Whatever you choose to use it all of the time. So think about what you want to use, but whatever you're going to do, use it all the time. And as you can see, I've used it so many times, my computer has multiple ways that it's kept up an idea of what I post. Investor welcome, but I always keep it consistent. This home will sell quick. Because what happens is you would post a listing today, you'll post a listing next week, and you post another listing the week after, and after about 3 to 4 weeks, people will start noticing your particular title. Of course, if you use "this home will sell quick," you'll probably come to me. So you probably want to look for something else that will be unique to you, so that they start looking for your listings based on your heading, making sure that you keep it consistent. So whatever it is, make it the same all of the time. I would then get the address. And now I'm going to matrix mostly to kind of confirm the information that I'm looking at here. Same address, yes. Same address, okay, fine. Let me go ahead and post it. And if I can also add another tip, everything that has a green title next to it is a required field. So anything that has a green lettering to it will not let you go to the next screen if that field is not, if something's not in that field. So let's see here. Postal code is 32827. Let's see here. Brief description. So let's see here. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. 2994 square feet. 2010. Water Edge in Lake Nona. So all right. Request a personal tour today of this beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. You can call yours, call a text number today. Something quick, simple, nothing too elaborate. The whole idea is you just want to give them just enough for them to give you a call to get because it piqued their interest. We're gonna look here at let's see here. The price is $375. $375. And I believe the square footage was 2994. This is a house. With laundry and drying hookups, attached garage, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. This section here is if you want to conduct an open house and you want to post it on Craigslist to get people to come to your open house. That's when you use this field. But that's not what we're doing today, so I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to leave that alone. Here, the ask for your license as a realtor. Typically, I don't put anything there because people who are looking at this listing can absolutely care very little about my license. They're not calling about my license. They're calling about the property that's on Craigslist. And If the client wants to get my license information after that initial conversation, that's fine. I can provide it to them. But like I said, I've never had anybody call and say, "Hey, what's your license ID? I need that because I want to go look at this property." Not once. So, phone number and contact name. License. Yeah, yes, you could. All right. Let's go here. I would put the address here again, even though the address is listed in the description box. It asks for it here again, so I'm gonna put it there. Copy that. Paste it. It's Orlando. Right. I'm gonna hit continue. Next page is just going to give us a general idea of what the property is. It's mostly for the person who's going to be looking at your listing as opposed to us that's doing the listing. So whoever is going to click on it will get a general idea of where the property is located. So like I said, nothing is done there. Here is where some level of computer savvy is necessary. Because you're going to need to first download these pictures and then upload them to Craigslist. One thing that I will definitely urge you not to do, and I'm going to do capital NOT, do not do this, is use the pictures on the MLS. And for this reason, right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but at the very, very corner here, that's a watermark, and that makes this particular picture copyright. This gives this picture the ability that we cannot copy it and post it. On the flip side, when you come to this site, same picture, no watermark. So this picture you can use. Information off this website you can use. The only reason why I was going to Matrix is because I wanted to use it as a second check, but the address is here. Number of bathrooms, bedrooms, square footage, all information that's on this site. But I can't take any of the pictures from this site because it has that watermark and it's copyright. However, I more than welcome or are able to take the pictures on this site. So here is where I'll go and copy the images. And like I said, it does require some computer savvy. So depending on what type of computer you're using, it's going to give you different ways on how you can do that. But this is what I do. It would allow you to take up to 24 pictures. 24 pictures on Craigslist. So, this is what, let me see. 6 pictures here. So I could probably just use all the pictures on the site and load them up. Now, on Matrix, you see there are 12 pictures. So there's 6 more pictures on this site than there is on this site. But guess what? 6 maximum, that's all I can use. I can use any more pictures, even though Matrix might have a different angle of a certain bathroom that you like better. You can't use any pictures from Matrix. You have to use only the ones that are on the site. So let's see here. And that's a computer saving tip. Do the same pick titles over and over and over again, because what's going to happen is by the time you get into 10 properties and you put an average about 6 pictures, if you don't use the same heading over and over and over, you would have a giant one day just to clean up all the pictures that you have in your computer. So just use pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 1 every time. So it just kind of erased what you had prior under that same picture heading, as opposed to every time that you have to go back in and then erase everything off, because your computer will get clogged up very quickly if you don't do that. So I had to, that's something that happened in my case, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do it from this way going forward. Six. That's it. All right, so now I'm gonna come over to Craigslist, load my images. All right, I believe those are my 6 images. When that's all said and done, click on Done with Images, and voila. This is your undrafted published, of course, or your unpublished draft. Property address here, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, square footage, house with garage, hookups, water and dry hookups, attached garage. And again, here, where I put that description, request a personal tour today, this beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. You can call yours. Call or text number blah. So there it is. This is, in fact, a live listing. So what you've done, you've kind of make sure everything is correct. Last thing, you click on publish. And what then happens is you can kind of just do a refresh. And here. And there's our listing, 375. There it is. So this property is going to be listed and active for 48 hours, 2 days. After 2 days, it's going to look like this. It's going to give you the option to renew your listing after a 48-hour period. So if you go here, if you come to this site, and you can see there is 10 hours and 52 minutes left for all bids to be placed. If this property is still on this website, you can go ahead and hit renew, and it will go live again for another 48 hours. A couple of things that you guys want to kind of keep in mind now that we're on this site is these properties, like I mentioned earlier, they're bank-owned properties, right? So the bank would first provide the ability for a homeowner to purchase this property. And where it does make mention of who's eligible is right here, eligible bidders. Let me look for another property that has a different criteria. Right, so let's see here. So these are properties out in Polk County. This is a new one. And as you can tell here, it says eligible bidders, owner occupants, nonprofit, government agencies only. Let's go here. And this property 4312 Upper see, same property. Same property as is here, but you can see this property's been on the market only for 5 days. So it's a new listing on the market, and the bank is going to first open it only to owner occupants, nonprofit or government agencies. Now, if for some reason the bank doesn't receive the offer that it wants within this time frame, then it can go ahead and change that eligible bidders to now include for investors. You know, because here it says eligible bidders, all bidders. So that means investors, owner occupants, non-government agencies, whoever wants to bid on this property now can bid on this property. And part of the reason why is probably because this property's been on the market for a little bit of time. And let me see here. That's why it's now open to all bidders. Let me just check here, C10087B. Let's see here. Yep, look at that. 41 days. So this property's been on the market for about a month and a half. Somewhere around there, a couple of days, give or take. So now this particular property is now open to all bidders. So what would happen if you put one of these properties online? Somebody happens to send you an email like 3 o'clock in the morning. Of course, you're not awake at that time. But when you wake up in the morning, you look at your email and you see, oh, somebody just reached out to me about this property on Bay Water. They gave me an email address. Oh, they even included a phone number. So I'm going to give them a call and say, hey, this is Beresford, Section 21. Hey, thanks for taking a look at my Craigslist listing. I saw that you showed some interest in this property. Do you have a couple minutes? Can we chat? Did I catch you at a bad time? Yes, no, maybe, whatever the case is. And it's okay, well, yes, I was interested in the property. I was looking at it online. I wasn't able to sleep for whatever reason. They usually give you a reason why. And yes, I'm interested. So my next question would be, hey, well, that's good to know. Let me take a look at the status of that property and see. Well, while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask, hey, quick question. Are you an owner occupant or are you an investor? Those will be my two. That would be my question to ask that potential client. And then if that client says, yes, I'm actually an owner occupant, well, then guess what? If they were calling me about this property, Bay Water Breeze, Well, on the occupants, it says all bidders, so hey, you can bid on it. If that same person in that same answer says, no, I'm actually an investor, I'm looking to purchase this property as an investment property, well, guess what? All bidders are accepted. We can still go ahead for this particular property. On the same note, if that property was this one that I'm going to show you now, the one that was in Polk County, if that same conversation had gone on and that client had said, oh, I'm owner occupant, I want to live in this property, then I'll say, you know what? Great. Because it shows that, yeah, you can place a bid on this property because you're an eligible bidder. But if that same conversation led on to the fact that this guy who was calling me, or this lady on the phone who was talking to me, stated that, oh yeah, by the way, I am an investor, then I'm gonna say, oh, Mr. or Miss Client, thank you for calling, but at this time you're not an eligible bidder for this particular property. However, let me take your name and your phone number, and if you care to share with me your email address, I'll keep an eye on this property for you because I've seen in the past where these properties can change status from owner occupant to eligible bidder. So, would you be interested at that time for as an investor when it becomes an eligible bidder? And 10 chances to 1, they're going to say, yes, please give me a call when that property status changed to eligible bidders for all parties. And yeah, if I'm still in the market, let's probably do some business at that time. Now, these properties, if I can give you a quick background note, these properties will stay on the market for about 10 days. So if it's a new listing, the initial 10 days would be for owner occupants, government agencies. After that 10-day period, if they don't receive an offer that they are okay with, then they would probably put it again out for another 10 days for owner occupants. And if they still don't receive the level of offer that they're expecting, then they'll probably change the status to now all bidders. And once you keep an eye on this, and now that status has changed, guess who I'm calling? I'm calling that same person back and say, hey, we spoke about maybe 3 weeks ago about this property out in Baywater Breeze, but hey, just kind of want to give you a heads up, the stats changed to now all bidders. Might you still be interested? And they could say yes, they could say no, or they could say, hey, you know what, I appreciate you getting back to me, but we went on with another property. Hey, well, thanks. I appreciate your time. If you say anything online, give me give me a buzz, and that's how a relationship can start. So that's how sometimes you can go about with talking with people to where now it helps